Hey guys, it's Mac. So in this video here, one of many videos I'm going to be recording for you, I'm going to help you choose the best way to help you find clients or customers for your business. Now, the reason I'm doing this is the coaching creator industry, course building industry is full of people that will tell you that there's a specific way that you should do it. It's a super sexy new way. And it's the way to get clients, it's the way to build wealth, it's the way to have all the things you could ever dream of. Now, the fucking harsh reality behind all of that is there's many ways that you can get customers and get clients for your business, but there's usually one, maybe two that are most suited to you. Okay, and these are based on things like you as a human, your audience, your business goals, and your current business level. So we're going to dive into all of these and then link it together at the end. So make sure you watch to the end. And I'm going to help you identify the best way for you to grow your business, because without new customers and new clients, your business doesn't grow. Okay, so we want to dispel this myth of like, oh, there's this sexy new way, and maybe I need to build this course and become a course seller, or maybe I need to do a no sales calls funnel or whatever. Like, one of them may be relevant for you, but this training will help you decide. And then rather than spending 20, 30,000 pounds on coaches and courses and mentors like I have, you can spend a lot less and you can invest in the right people to help you. So that is the sole purpose of this video today, setting that stall out and helping you make the right decision for your business so that you're not wasting all this money on people who can't help you. So we'll jump straight in to you. Very straightforward. Your skill set is important, your personality is important, and your availability overall is important. So if we think about your skill set, there's two things we're thinking here, right? What are you really, really good at, and what might you need to get better at depending on the rest of the things that we cover along here? Are you a good writer? Cool, we know where your strengths are. Are you really good at speaking? Are you really good at creating content, or are you really good at, strategy? Or it might be something that's none of these things. What is it that you're really good at, when it comes to getting people to know that your business exists? Like, are you good at writing copy? Like Dan Coe is. Dan Coe built his whole business off of writing great tweets and threads and generating attention and growing his account that way and creating this, non-niche way of being. And then he's developed his ability to speak and talk on camera. When I first met Dan Coe on Twitter, in the Twitter days, he didn't really do videos, and he would do videos on his Modern Mastery course, community, sorry, and it was kind of a little bit awkward. He would kind of talk and do the thing that he's done, but he's developed that skill because he has seen that it's relevant to how he grows his business. So we are going to identify what you're really good at and what you might need to be better at, which will come later down the rest of this chart. And then think about your personality. Are you an extrovert? Do you love talking to people? Do you love getting on calls? Do you love getting on camera? Do you love meeting people? Or are you an introvert? Are a little bit more selective? You're a little bit more reserved? These things are relevant. Are you a systems thinker? Are you a leader through and through, where you kind of want to build the business and you want to hire people that are better than you to do the specific things? You need to get really clear on like where you actually are. Like, if you're the leader and that's how you want to be and that's how you deep down are, then you're not going to want to create content and edit videos and write newsletters and create posts. You're going to want to have a team of people to do that. So the way you approach business is completely different. The way you approach client acquisition and customer acquisition is completely different. And then there's your availability. Really simple. Are you time rich or are you cash rich? Now, the chances are, watching this video, you're probably more time rich than you are cash rich, because you're a prosumer more than likely. But that is important. Like, do you have lots of money and less time and you need to be more specific about the way you do things? Or do you not have the money yet, but you have the time available to put into building the systems, creating content, writing newsletters, etc., etc.? So get a notepad out, write these things down, have a little think, record it however you want, Notion document, Google Doc, Notepad, whatever, and try to understand exactly where you are. Now, you probably add to this, like, as we develop this along this chart, but think about where you are now, who you are now, and what you have available right now. Right, next one is your audience. So the audience typically makes up of, three groups. There's your consumers. So they're the people that, watch Mr. Beast all day long in their pants and, buy chocolate bars all day long and don't read books and don't really care, and they're just happy with life and they're blissfully ignorant. That's your consumers. Your audience might be consumers, and there's a different way to approach them than there is to approach like the pros. Now, your prosumers, which is probably most of the people watching this video, is early stage coaches, entrepreneurs, artists, course creators, agency owners, whatever, right? You're in the early stages, below 50k a month in your business. You're trying to figure out the best way to get clients for your business, and the title of this video is kind of told you that this is going to show you how to do that. So you're watching the video hoping that I might deliver on that. I promise that I will. You're the prosumer. So your audience might be prosumers, right? They are not just consumers. They are leaning more towards here, but they still consume knowledge, still want to be educated, still need to be taught, still want mentors, etc., etc. The pros, the Alex Hormozi's, the Charlie Morgans, the William Browns of the world, these guys are making, 6-figure months in their business. They're established. They've got teams. They're experienced in the game. If you're selling to them, you're going to approach them differently than you would approach consumers. If you're going to try and sell to Alex Hormozi, for example, which I've done before, tried to sell, to him, you got to meet him where he's at. You got to know where they're at, where they spend most of the time. His was Instagram. I sent him a message and tried to sell him our service for his new book launch, which comes out soon. So that's, that was for my business. That's my audience, the pros, the guys that have been around a while, the guys with more money. So if you're targeting the prosumers, probably Instagram, probably Twitter, probably very active, probably posting a lot, probably very clear on the I help X achieve Y statements, that's who they are. Where they're hanging out. The pros, they could be anywhere, specific masterminds, not on social at all. Maybe it's just email, for example. You have to get really, really clear on who your audience actually are and where they actually hang out. Once you've got this down and you've got an understanding of yourself, you start to get a bit of a picture then of okay, I think I know now. But don't rush ahead of yourself at this point and think, I'm away, I know what to do, and go. This is where people mess up. They're like, I know what I'm doing now, I've got to go on Instagram and post as content. Just calm down. Right, next one, business goals. Do you want to be a solopreneur? Do you want a lifestyle business, or do you want to sell it and make loads of money? $43 million or whatever. This is important for the sole purpose of just where you focus your time and energy. If you just want to run a simple business with, no staff, or maybe just a VA to help with a few bits and pieces, and you don't want to have loads of people and you're happy to make 20, 30k a month on your business and that's where you want to be, then you're probably going to create loads of content, funnel people into a newsletter, and then sell people onto a program. That's your thing. So it's going to be YouTube, Instagram, a Beehive newsletter, or a ConvertKit newsletter, or Substack newsletter, whatever. And that's going to be the funnel, typically, because it's easy to run, it's easy to manage, it's easy to automate, and you can build trust that way. If you're going to, scale and exit, you want to make $20 million in sales, you've got to come from the lens of your client acquisition system needs to be scalable and predictable. You need to be able to reverse engineer from the back to the front and say, well, if we want 5 new clients a month that pay us 20k a month each because we churn to, we need to reverse engineer. We need to speak to this many people on a call. We need to get this many people in messages. We need to see this many people respond to something. And then you're going to build an entirely different system. You're going to, potentially build ads into a outrageous, go high level funnel, or a Russell Brunson's one, the name escapes me. You're screaming at it now because you know what it's called. And you're going to have a whole team, a sales team, setters, processes, training staff. The whole thing is different. You've got to approach it from a different lens altogether. Now, it might be that this is where you want to be, but at the moment you're starting out the lifestyle because it's you. You have many hats and you're trying to figure it all out, right? So it might be that you have to start slow and you're doing all the work, and then you start to slowly but surely move towards here. But at least you understand the direction that you're wanting to go. And then if you want to run a business until you can, until you retire, and you're like, I'm just going to run this business till the day I fucking drop dead or whatever, right? It's a lifestyle business, so you've you're not worrying about investors, you're not worrying about 6-month holidays and growing. You're deeply involved in the day to day. You're potentially, the front man, front woman of the business. You're the one going to networking events. You're the one posting content. You're the one driving everything, right? Nobody's going to give a shit more about this business than you, because it's literally your livelihood. So the way you approach client acquisition is like probably a man of many or a woman of many hats, where you do the marketing, do the cold email, do the content, do the YouTube videos, do the newsletter. You're doing everything, and then eventually you start to like pass off little bits and pieces over time they come. So you really need to understand as much as possible what your business goals are or what they're going to be, because the solopreneur and the exit are two completely different models, and then that guy in the middle, which is typically most of us, you kind of bounce between both. So at least you know where you're at and where you're going to focus your energy. So you get to this point, you're like, well, I'm an introvert and I like to build systems and I want to sell my business. Awesome. I'm going to build a cold email system then, and I'm just going to scale the shit out of that. And then I'm going to run ads into a funnel, and I'm going to scale that. I'm going to run ads on Google, I'm going to run Meta ads, and then I'm going to play around with LinkedIn ads. I'm going to run my business from there. But if you're the solopreneur, you're like, how can I make this as easy as possible? I want to post one YouTube video a day, one reel a day, push everyone to my newsletter with some kind of free thing, get them onto there, and then I'm going to nurture the shit out of them until they buy from me. Two completely different models. So once you're at this point, you're like, I don't need to go and buy that course that person's selling that I thought I had to buy, because it's irrelevant now. I need to learn from one of the good solopreneurs out there that has literally built a 30K a month business, complete solopreneur thing. And I know a few people that have done that. Some great guys, some guys I've worked with that run great programs. Really, really cool guys. If you want to know who they are, let me know. I'll put their names in the comments. Otherwise, I'm not going to shout everybody out on here. So you get the idea. Now, the last one. This is equally as important. What is your current business level? Are you like, I'm dead broke, mum's basement, no money, kind of like need to fucking grow? Or are you at that, like where most people are, 10 to 50K a month, I'm still the main person in the business, don't quite know how to delegate and don't really have the money to delegate because I've hired this agency to do this thing and I've got this other thing going on here, and 10K a month in the business isn't 10K a month in the bank. Is that where you are now? Or are you, the 6-figure a month entrepreneur that everyone thinks you want to be? Can you delegate and systemize, right? Because believe it or not, you might be watching this video and you're like, I'm 100K a month, but I still have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Like, I'm just winging it and I don't really know how to get clients like consistently. And genuinely, there'll be people like that watching this. And there'll be people like that watching this video that they're starting completely different new, and they're like, I don't know who to trust. I have fucking no idea what to do. So think about your current business level. Are you completely new? Yeah, or are you still the main person, in the business and you're driving it? How much time have you got available? How much bandwidth have you got available? How much money have you got available? Or can you actually delegate, but you just haven't because you're a control freak? And it's okay to admit that. Like, I'm a control freak and making 100K a month and I'm working 18-hour days. We should talk, because I show you how to delegate that shit. That's the point, right? Think about that thing from there. So if we kind of like zoom back out a little bit, my really cute Miro board. There we are. Your audience, your business goals, your current business level, okay? What's your skill set? What's your personality? What's your availability? Who are your audience? Are they prosumers, pros? Are they consumers? What is your ultimate business goal? Do you want to just be a solopreneur forever and just chill your beans? Do you want to like scale and exit and end up with no hair and try and build something massive? And where are you at now? Because, and this is where it gets good, it's all about the trade-off, okay? And let me give you some examples, right? You can rely on inbound traffic for your business if you want, but you got to be willing to get really good at driving traffic to your business. So you're gonna have to get really good at content, especially if you've got no money, right? You can't just hire somebody to film and send content out for you, or you can rely on outbound if you don't want to be a content creator. If you're like, I don't want to create content, I just want to build a business, I don't want to sell my soul on YouTube posting stupid videos that nobody cares about, then you can rely on outbound. You can build an outbound system. And there's the trade-off. It's not an either or. It's what do you fucking want to do? Like, what do you truly want to do? And then another one, you can systemize outreach if you're cash rich and time poor. If you're like, I am putting so much time into this business and I'm making money and I what do I do? Do I create more content? You can literally systemize outreach and reverse engineering. But like, I am just going to film some content, run some ads, get somebody to do it all for me, I just record some videos and they do the whole fucking thing for me because I ain't got the time for that shit. Okay, the key thing here is it's all about the trade-off, right? I'm not going to accept that there is a specific way that you have to do a business. There's a new sexy way, right? People talk about, new sexy great ways and it's really easy to do, and it's a great marketing strategy, right? And it makes sense because when you're selling in particular to prosumers, most of them are like, I am broke. I make 5K a month and I am broke, which is bullshit. But then they'll see these people and they're like, I need more. So I'm going to follow this person who makes 100K a month. But you might not be willing to do what they've done. You might not be capable of doing what they've done. You might not be as patient in achieving the results as they were. And you might not actually want what they want. You might not actually want 6 figures a month. You might be like, you know what, I just want to travel. And I just want to travel. I want a one-person business. I want to coach people to lose weight, or get laid, or, find a woman with their dreams or whatever. You've got to really think about anything in all of this is like, what am I trading? I don't want to create content, so I'm going to build systems, or I'm going to get somebody to help me build systems. I haven't got the money, so I'm going to have to give the time. Okay, so it's all about the trade-off. These 4 things are really important. You can screenshot this if you want. Let me make it smaller for you. You can screenshot that if you want, put it on your computer, use it, whatever. Now, the sole purpose of this video is to empower you and to give you the skills so that you don't have to spend 10, 15, 20K on coaches that are trying to teach you a specific way to do something, because it's not. I have worked with various coaches and creators as a client, as a supplier, and as a mentor. So across the whole range. And what cost me £20,000 worth of time, money, lost revenue, etc., leads me back to this all the time. Like, do I know who I am? Do I know who my audience is? Do I know what my business goals are? And do I know where the fuck I am right now? When I know those 4 things, it becomes clear of what I need to do. Okay? All right. So I have a business that I'm growing, and it's a lifestyle business. I want to do more of the solopreneur type business. I want to educate people, and I want people to come and join my community, and work alongside me and all the great guys that are in there. It's extremely affordable. There's no outrageous upsells. This is the route I'm going. So I know that I need to get better at speaking. I know I need to get on YouTube, hence the video. I know I need to get my head around exactly what I need to do. So I built this for me, and my first thought is, let me share this with you. This will help you. And if it doesn't, drop me a message on Instagram, be like, dude, that didn't help, your shit. And I'll book you on a free call and I'll fix it. Alternatively, if you're watching, you're like, that's actually really helpful, thanks. Drop me a message on Instagram and let me know. So I know, or drop a comment on YouTube and be like, yeah, this video is cool, cheers. Just helps me know that I'm not talking shit to myself into a camera in my office, in my house, in the middle of the countryside. So I hope that helps. Hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, put them in the comments. Really appreciate you.